An important weekend for the UMass Lowell Hockey Riverhawks. Merrimack College ranked 8th in the nation, and among those teams battling for home ice along with the Riverhawks. In town on Friday night, the University of Maine pays a visit on Saturday. Joining us, the head coach of your Riverhawks, Norm Bazin. And Norm, I guess, I know I want to say big weekend. I understand that points at this time of the year are worth no more than points back in October or November. Is it different now? Is there pressure? Are these games more important?
Well, they become more meaningful because of what's at stake: home ice, playoffs, a host of other things. So it certainly seems that way. But when you break it down, those games in October surely look important in getting here.
I know you hate talking about yourself, but I remember back to your senior year, and in the stretch drive, I think 16 goals in the final 18 games. That leads me to the question: what type of player excels in these situations, these stretch drives, these push toward the playoffs, this run at the end of the season?
Well, I'd like to think we have a group of players that are very competitive, and I think when you're a competitive person, you play well in pressure situations. So I'm certainly looking forward to this stretch, and I think a lot of our guys are also.
I was doing some stats, and one thing that jumps out at me: if we score 3 goals in a hockey game, we almost always win. Same thing if you look at Maine's stats, same thing if you look at Merrimack College's stats. Which leads me to the question: in college hockey, has 3 kind of become the magic number? Get 3 goals, and you're probably going to win?
Well, I didn't realize 3 was the magic number, but you always give me some statistics that I really enjoy during these interviews. So I believe you. I think there's less scoring in college hockey, and I think that 3 or more usually gets it done. And I do realize that Merrimack is the best defensive team in the country and only giving up 2 goals or less each game they've played on average. So it'll be a real challenge for us to get 3 or more.
You mentioned Merrimack, and historically Lowell and Merrimack have been terrific rivals, dating back to the kind of the birth of the hockey programs at each school and their development through Division II and then later Division I. But in recent years, the 2 teams have not been competitive at the same time. Both now are in the top 10 of the nation. Is it fun to see the fact that these 2 teams are battling, and it means a lot?
No question. I think when you get to this time of the year, whoever you play, it's a real battle. But when you talk about a team that's 13 miles away, it becomes even more meaningful. So it'll be an exciting hockey game and a real pleasure for the fans to take part in, because I think we can both host each other's fans here in the next 3 games.
Now, Maine in on Saturday night. They've got a terrific power play. I think maybe the best in the country. Do we do anything special, or is it a matter of us just killing penalties the way we kill penalties? And let's be effective, let's be efficient, and also let's not go to the box.
Yeah, staying out of the box will be important whenever you face a 29% power play. It's very important and in the penalty kill, but to avoid at all costs. However, we will kill penalties. We're aggressive, and we'll take our share. We're going to pay special attention to certain parts of their power play. I think they've got a young man, Abbott, who's got 27 points on the power play alone. And those types of guys need to be addressed. And Flynn is very good finishing on the power play. So those are all things that we pay attention to. But in the end, we have to play our style of game and do what we do.
All right, then, let me ask, and I've asked before, but maybe it's worth repeating. What is Lowell-style hockey?
Well, it's an aggressive style of hockey. It's fast-paced. It's a quick transition, and it's driving hard to the net and doing all the little work habits that we need to do to be successful. And I'm excited by this weekend for a number of reasons. 2 different style teams. One's more geared towards offense. One's more defensive. And they throw a whole set of challenges, but both have good goaltenders. Canada's a Hobie Baker finalist, or one that's going to at least be a finalist. It'll be exciting to face such a good goaltender. And the next night you face an offense that's second to none at this point in the year. They're 16-2-2 their last 20 games, which is a real challenge for us.
Does it make it more difficult for a coach, for a hockey club, to prepare for a weekend when it's 2 different opponents and in many ways dramatically different styles?
Well, it puts you to the test. It puts the whole staff on alert in terms of doing their due diligence on 2 different opponents and 2 different styles, and more importantly, researching a lot of game tape. So we've been busy this week, and we'll be busy the rest of the week. But I'd like to think that we'll do our work to get prepared.
All right, Norm. I thank you certainly for your time. We look forward to the weekend. We remind people, Merrimack College in on Friday night. Saturday night, the University of Maine visits the Tsongas Center. And Norm, always a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you, Bob.